Welcome back to Y.E.S, internet people everywhere, somewhere, but yeah, you're all here. We're doing an unconventional quote unquote episode, I guess, here on the channel. I have a lot of stuff that I'm doing, especially with the 5 and 5. Spoiler alert coming up. 5 and 5 is going to be very heavily athlete influenced coming up at the end of April. But yeah, since I'm talking more about more than just music these days, I'm trying to sprinkle a little bit of entertainment everywhere. You know, music's my forte, but that's why I have other people that I rely on to be able to bring me and you, the listener, some more information. So I thought it would be fun to talk about some of the fighting that's been going on recently in the entertainment industry. Don't get it mixed up with anything kooky out there, all right? So let's bring on what I consider a pretty awesome guy, friend, but also a guy who has proven himself in the ring itself, or the octagon, or whatever kind of cage you think it's going to be called. So let's all give a round of applause to Ricky Big Sexy Galvez. There's like a little clap there. Okay.
Guys, thank you. Hold the applause.
Yeah, man. Dude, I am so happy to have you on. Now, if any of you have followed my channel in the past, I did do a powwow with Ricky. When was that? When was your big fight? That was 2 years ago?
Almost 30, yeah. Well,
What?
Yeah, 2018, man.
Dude.
It's been a while.
Fetch. Yeah, that feels like, yeah, it's too long. I need to come out there again. That was fun. I really liked coming.
It was a great time.
That was my first live fight event. It wasn't in the pros, but it was pretty epic. I'll give him that. I have to like put an insert in here somewhere, or like I don't know, like or a photo or something like that. I'll get something in there to show. Hey, this guy's proved his point time and time and again. So we got UFC 261. That's the first thing that I want to get on. So just kind of give me an idea of all the fights that were taking place. What was the one that you were kind of anticipating the most?
Well, there was 3 title fights at 261 with the main event, Usman and Masvidal.
Uh-huh.
And that was the highlight for me, because I'm a big George fan, but I give respect to Usman, because that guy's he's a beast, man. And definitely showed it with that amazing knockout. I was surprised. Second round, he got that knockout on George, and it was he literally, how they say, took his head off. Because George was talking about, he took on Usman on 6-day notice last time, and he goes, you got my toes in 6 days. If I get 3 weeks, I'll take your belt. If I get a full camp, I'll take your head off, right? But I was expecting that to happen. I honestly was. But, man, George literally got his head taken off by Usman, like a complete knockout. And there was a co-main event. I'm a big Thug Rose fan. And I can never pronounce her opponent's name. But
I just know the last name is Zhang.
Yeah, Zhang.
Yeah.
So she's a tough fighter. All respect to her. She's amazing. But I'm a diehard Thug Rose fan, and the way she got that knockout so quick, especially in the championship fight, I was just like, man, she deserved it. And she's just amazing. She's an all-around, well-rounded fighter, and she loves to get back to the community. And you could tell a person's genuine. And Thug Rose is just like, I feel like she's the people's champ, and the way she won was beautiful. Like, and there was other. I really didn't get to watch too many other fights because I had to work at the time. But those were 2 of my favorite fights, just the co-main and the main.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll start with the Usman one because, I don't know if he goes by George or Jorge. It sounds like you've pronounced it both ways, but
Jorge, Masvidal, the BMF, he got all kinds of things.
Yeah, dude, this guy has quite a record. He's been fighting for a while. Now Usman also has, but he only has about half the fights that Masvidal has right now.
Yeah.
So I will say I don't know what they were doing. I saw some other sporting shows that kind of showed some pictures. There's just the one where he got that jab and the light is just perfect on all the whatever came off of his face, his sweat or spit or whatever it is just the light. And I'm just like, oh heavens, that was one freaking good punch. It's just
that literally because George, he's never been knocked out ever. This guy, he grew up as a little fighter in the ghetto, he says, and he came out of a lot of backyard fighting, and then he got picked up professionally, and he's never been. He's just way too tough fighter, and that jab and then that right hand, Usman just laid it. It literally looked like all the sweat that got knocked out. I was just like, bro, that's his spirit leaving his body. he got his head taken off. The way you say how the light just hits perfect, and he just. You see, as soon as the sweat hits, his head's turned, and you just see his face. He's out, unconscious, and I was like, man. And right away, they on social medias with the memes, they go, "Y'all want to see the dead body?" And it has these 4 kids from the movie Boys in the Hood, and then Masvidal's dead. It looks like he's dead. Or a big thing George has, he goes, "I'm gonna baptize you," right? When he fights someone, he's gonna beat them, I'm gonna baptize you. But in this one, unfortunately, they had Masvidal got baptized. So it was.
Yeah, it looked like the water sprouted upward, coming in that direction.
Exactly.
Now, I need something to be resolved right here. What do you call this weight? Welterweight? How do you pronounce it? What's the
welterweight?
Welterweight. I always thought I was pronouncing that wrong. I don't know why.
Welterweight.
Yeah, it doesn't look like an English word for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay, now going back to Rose. She got a little bit of extra publicity before the fight came around, about a week before. She's just like, yeah, I'm going in. And I'm trying to remember what direction the punch actually went, because I think Zhang just kind of fell backwards at one point, and that's when she started going at her and stuff like that.
She was jabbing. She was keeping her jab. She was she has real composure. She's not a wild fighter. So she hit her with she feinted the jab, and then Zhang went to the opposite, and that's where Doug just came out with that kick. That kick was just immaculate, perfect. The way it landed, the way she spun it, it was nice.
Yeah,
landed real good.
Now, it looks like there was also another women's fight. I don't remember. I don't know why I didn't see this earlier, but I did watch it. I just don't remember seeing this on here previously. Valentina something. Shevchenko. Darn Eastern European pronunciations. She got a. I don't know if I saw anything that I personally would count as remarkable, but take my opinion with 2 grains of salt, because I'm learning from you basically about this kind of stuff, because me seeing your fight got me interested in learning a little bit more about it.
I saw the highlights. I'm surprised you didn't. Did you see her celebration dance?
I want to say yes, but I don't remember how it went. Yeah. She was just going back and forth in the octagon.
That was she. I think it's. I don't want to say polka. I don't quote me on that. I'm not sure, but she has a pretty nice celebration dance. I know with the break dancing and the entertainment. That's definitely something to highlight.
Yeah. What's his name? Isaiah something. He does b-boying every time he does a victory. I can't.
Adesanya?
Yeah. Yeah. He'll do a windmill or something like that at the end of every victory.
Yeah. No. I saw the highlights. I think she won by. Was it she didn't. Yeah. No, she choked her out, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right. Anybody can fact check us, but yeah, we're just trying to do this here and now.
But she won, so she's a champ.
Yeah. Now, the other 2, I just want to say real quick. Maybe you saw the highlights. I was watching these, and I was the light heavyweight. with Anthony Smith beating out Jimmy Crute. And Smith got a good kick at a Jimmy Crute's leg, and everyone would say it was broken. And I think it probably was, but it didn't like pop out or anything like that. It just kind of looked like he basically made the leg go dead, essentially. And Crute couldn't really continue on after that. It looked like he could still walk on it, but it looked like it was not comfortable.
That was completely broken.
Okay, it was.
That was, oh man, I saw the highlights of that, and just, it reminded me of when Weidman broke his leg or Anderson Silva broke his leg on Weidman's, and it was just one of those horror where you're just like, oh, I never want to fight, I never want to throw a kick, because that was just, gives me the goosebumps. Just, I can't.
How thick are your legs?
I got pretty thick legs.
You and I should size up. That's the biggest part of my body.
No, definitely. Those, but it's just that bone to bone that it's catastrophic. Like, man, the way it's just, you never wanted to see anybody go through that, but just the way it landed, it's perfect timing, power. There goes your bone.
Yeah. And then the one that happened right after that, the middleweight, Uriah Hall versus Chris Weidman. Now, I don't know which side was to blame.
That's okay. That's the kick that I was talking about. That Weidman.
Because Weidman threw a kick, but then he must have. I don't know. Did he land on it wrong? Because his foot totally.
That's the one that I thought that was. I'm still thinking about it. Weidman's the one that broke his leg. Yeah, that's broken. That was the one that was definitely broken. The previous fight, I'm not too sure if he couldn't continue, right?
Yeah, he couldn't continue. It looked like like I said, it looked like because of the kick, like he tried to put his leg down again after he got kicked,
and then he just falls, right?
Yeah, he just falls. It looked like his leg just ceased to want to continue going on or something like that. Now maybe it was broke or something like that, but not as bad as the Weidman one.
Yeah, see, Weidman's
that was so uncomfortable to watch. I watched it in slow mo. I'm like, no, I don't get it. What happened? And then I see it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, please stop. I don't want that reaction in my brain anymore. Yeah. It reminded me slightly of when Gordon Hayward broke his leg in the NBA on that game a few years ago. And I'm just like, oh, gosh. But it's just there in the ring. It's just like, you could get a couple extra punches to the face if they don't call it. But, I didn't see that originally. I'm just like, oh, my gosh. Like, I just want to have a squeaky little voice.
The irony of that, man. Now, Silva broke his leg the same exact way on Weidman's shin, and now Weidman broke his leg, and it's just like, oh man, you never wish that on anybody. But yeah, it's part of the sport, unfortunately, at times.
Yep. Now I gotta figure out how this goes. I am learning more and more about this, but like a big event like this, you just move on to a couple more fights every once in a while, and then the next really big championship event would be set approximately when usually? How does that work?
Really set date. When you got a fighter moving up in the ranks, and every fighter ultimately wants to be a champion in their weight division. So if there's a fight lined up for the champion to have to defend his belt, you get the up and coming fighter, and that's usually how it goes along the lines. But usually, from the looks of it, as the promoter like Dana White, he wants to get as many good fights in on one card or spread them out. So like this one was pretty neat because you had 3 fights. Not that often that you get to see. You got a lot of fights on the line. So,
what did you think of all the attendees and everything that they did in order to make it a big event over there in Jacksonville?
It just felt not. I was actually talking to my buddy because I rushed to his house to watch the fight. I got to see like the last 2. And, bro, there's a crowd. Like, what the heck? Like, I think as a fighter, I mean, don't get me wrong, you got your audience, but I recall in my fights, like I don't even think of the audience I'm fighting, so you're just so trained and focused on your opponent. But during intermissions, like during breaks, during rounds, like I do look out. I'm just like I get motivated when I hear Ricky, right? When I hear the fan cheering, so I could just imagine how they felt. How amazing that is having all the fans back. Like it gets exciting because you go with the crowd noises. Like when Weidman broke his leg, you could just hear the crowd go, "Oh!" It has that much more entertainment aspect. Like it feels good. Those nice things are slowly but surely getting back to normal.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we're all hoping for.
Right.
Now, we got a little bit of time still. We got enough. And I know that this probably isn't the thing that you care about most, but I want to tie it in because a certain quote-unquote fighter also was in attendance after another fight. Jake Paul happened to be there. The audience wasn't too happy that he was there. I don't know if you heard that.
He got booed. He got booed. Highlights, they booed him.
Yeah. So, you and I kind of texted back and forth about it, but just give me your basic thoughts on that fight.
I'm calling him out right now. If he wants to fight a heavyweight champ, try to call out DC. I, Big Sexy, will fight you, Jake Paul. No, man, I don't know. Those as a fighter, I feel like it's a joke. You got these channel brothers, don't get me wrong. They put in the work. You could tell they're working hard. They're both fighting. Jake Paul is, he's hitting it a little more. He just, with this fight against Ben Askren, an MMA fighter, and he knocked him out, which in my opinion, I feel it was a flop. Because Ben Askren he said he made at least $500,000, and then his Bellator 9 fight, his 9 fight, the total accumulated, he made maybe like 350 or something, 350,000, and in one fight he makes over $500,000. So I don't know. I just feel like it was too much of a flop. I don't think Jake Paul has that much power. I think it was just like they're building it up. Just in my opinion, like for entertainment wise, yes, people want to buy into it. People love it. Like, oh, this guy needs to get knocked out, and he surprises the masses, and he ends up the victorious one. But at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know, something doesn't seem right about that. So, but who knows?
I personally am leaning onto you, and this is also, again, coming from a guy that doesn't have a lot of knowledge with this. Let's see, where do I want to go? Just quick on Askren. Like, he didn't seem too sad leaving the fight. Now, again, that could be the payday, but maybe this is a little bit of doubt I'm putting into your brains right now, those of you who are listening. Maybe, just maybe, there was a little bit of just falling down added to that. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there.
He went 19-1, 19-2, almost an undefeated record, and just to get knocked out by a guy who's 3-0 now in boxing, like at that, like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. And I got plenty of friends they're riding his choo-choo train. They're like, oh, he's a beast. Like, I guess I don't know.
I mean, he is a huge dude. Like,
dude, he calls himself the champ, but it's just like, bro, you haven't fought anybody. How are you the champ? Like, you don't even got street cred. Like, I could watch the Disney Channel and I'll be like, that's the Disney boy, right? And just
it's like you can't. It's like me going to a b-boy jam and trying to say like I'm so hood or something like that. I'm just like, no, I'm from Orange County. That's not hood. But because of my time, like I can at least relate to these guys. But there's no way that I'm just going to be up straight up like that and say I'm so hood. I'm like, no, I'm an Orange County white guy. It doesn't matter, okay? Like I can understand them.
You still got street cred.
I got some people's street cred, but I didn't grow up in that. So there.
So I don't know. It's tough. Maybe I got to see him fight an actual boxer, right? Because like Askren, I honestly thought I was just like I saw a meme. Well, Askren got, I don't know if you ever seen that, one of the fastest knockout when Mazdava forehead knocked him out with that knee kick.
I don't think I saw that one, no.
All right, so yeah, Jorge knocked out Askren in less than 5 seconds with the knee kick, and he was literally dead, right?
How long ago was that?
Man, I want to say that was right before the pandemic, but that was...
Maybe I did see that. But the last knockout that I'm trying to remember, because the last knockout that I remember seeing was McGregor knocking out Cowboy Cerrone, with those last few.
That was a while back too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, look that one up. In less than 5 seconds, Jorge knocks out Askren. So in the MMA community, everyone's like, if Ben takes out Jake Paul, we will erase that fight from the records, and Ben, you are back to being a fighter. Like, just as a community, it's a joke. But now he gets knocked out by Jake Paul. It's just like, yeah, Ben, you're done, buddy. Like, go home. You're happy. You got your money. Like, it's just one of the things where it's just like, man, we were really hoping these shenanigans would be cut out. But...
Yeah, I kind of wish that it wouldn't. Like, I'm not rooting against the idea of other people crossing into other realms. With all this, celebrity things becoming fighters. Like, I'm not against it, but I am. But there is I know there's a big talk among the MMA community about them just doing it for these big paydays, and it just kind of feels like it. In a way, on that side, it feels like it cheapens the idea slightly. So there's got to find a way to legitimize this in some capacity.
Yeah, I feel like a fighter, people go like, oh, they do it because they have heart, they do it for the fight, they love the sport. It's not for the money, but you get your how anyone who ever fights McGregor always says, oh, it's Red Fonzie night, you're going to get the big payday today. And I feel like that's what a lot of people are doing now, right? Mixing it with celebrities and just for the payout. People, for some reason, love that entertainment. So, I mean, by all means, if Jake Paul watches this, I'm ready.
We'll send this out everywhere just to spread the word.
But no, I respect it. At the end of the day, the person does what they do. But for the sport, it doesn't make sense. But hey, it's 2021. A lot of things don't make sense.
Point taken.
After 2020, what do we believe?
We'll figure that out little by little. As long as we got Dana White, though, I think we're gonna manage okay.
Right.
All right. Well, if we have other things following up, Rick, we'll contact you again because I'd love to get more input, and I'm here to learn a little bit more. So with that, everybody here listening to Y.E.S, we're signing off. We'll talk to you soon.